Om Aim Hreem Shreem. Hello and welcome to today's broadcast. I am Vijay Jyotish and I'm excited to guide you through the astrological insights into the 2024 US presidential elections. The pressing question on everyone's minds is who will become the next president of the United States? This is a matter of considerable interest because of its ripple effects on the global economy and prospects for world peace. Before sharing my final analysis and prediction on the potential winner, let's explore how certain key states might impact the overall outcome. We'll take a closer look at some pivotal swing states, as well as a few others that faced legal challenges in 2020, to piece together a clearer picture of what's ahead in 2024. We'll examine Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nevada, North Carolina, Nebraska, and Minnesota before revealing the projected electoral vote count for each candidate and announcing the likely victor. First, let's turn our attention to Arizona. Both candidates here are showing robust financial backing, making it a tight race with no apparent financial edge for either side. Yet, there are undercurrents indicating a slight dip in financial support for President Trump, even if this isn't widely visible. Interestingly, during this reading, the stars also hinted at potential health issues for President Trump, particularly with his digestive system and dietary choices. There is a possibility that a surgical procedure might be on his calendar before November 5, but don't expect this news to hit the headlines just yet. On the logistical front, astrological insights suggest that election day could feature some complications with up to 20% of voting machines possibly failing or requiring replacements. This hints at looming disruptions and delays, suggesting that Maricopa County may still be navigating lessons from the 2020 and 2022 elections. We can expect a nail-bitingly close contest in Arizona, with results potentially remaining elusive at the close of November 5. Despite any delays and potential legal fireworks, the forecast tilts in favor of President Donald Trump ultimately outmaneuvering Vice President Kamala Harris. He'll need to be sharp and strategic to lock in this win. In summary, President Donald Trump seems poised to clinch victory in Arizona, securing those all-important 11 electoral votes. Now let's shift our focus to Georgia. It seems Georgia may not have fully absorbed the lessons from the 2020 election, leading to potential renewed concerns over the integrity of the vote and electoral procedures. This could stir the pot once again in a state that's had its share of election drama in 2020. The Harris campaign is set to outspend the Trump campaign significantly, indicating a strong financial push in the state. However, keep an eye out for reports of financial impropriety involving election workers, which might add a twist to the unfolding story. Interestingly, from an astrological perspective, this race isn't predicted to be a nail-biter. Vice President Harris is expected to secure a decisive victory, suggesting that any legal challenges won't hold much weight against the 2024 election outcomes. Her success in Georgia is likely to be driven by adeptly managing narratives across diverse demographic groups. Despite an anticipated loss, President Trump is likely to channel his energy and focus on other battleground states. Georgia doesn't seem to be a cornerstone of his broader strategy for victory in 2024, allowing him to remain relatively unfazed by the outcome here. In summary, Vice President Kamala Harris is poised to clinch victory in Georgia, bagging those crucial 16 electoral votes. Let's dive into the battleground that is Pennsylvania. The upcoming election here is shaping up to be a nail-biter between President Trump and Vice President Harris. The competition will be fierce, and President Trump will need to pull out all the stops to edge out a victory. Key demographics rallying behind Vice President Harris include union workers, the medical community, farmers, and strong support from the Asian American community. On the flip side, President Trump is expected to receive backing from working class groups such as farmers, miners, construction workers, factory workers, sanitation workers, and general labor sectors. While there's vocal support for Vice President Harris, a silent undercurrent of MAGA voters could surprise, adding a twist to Pennsylvania's electoral landscape. Tension may rise during the vote counting process, which is predicted to be inconsistent with irregular batch sizes and unexpected lead changes. Unforeseen ballot discoveries, ranging from small to substantial numbers, could delay declaring results, possibly necessitating multiple counts. The race may be so close that an automatic recount could also be triggered. Election results might not be available until much later in the voting week, potentially Friday, Saturday, or even Sunday. This delay will likely see electoral workers extending their hours, with some working on their days off to ensure an accurate count. We can expect resurfacing allegations concerning voting machines, potentially involving claims of internet connectivity, alongside questions about the authenticity of specific ballots, echoing issues from 2020 with pristine ballot appearances. Legal battles are anticipated, yet it appears the experienced Democratic legal teams may face setbacks, with judges likely siding with President Trump in Pennsylvania. The election atmosphere may be charged with accusations of unlawful conduct, with one side accusing the other of theft and cheating, while the other is criticized for engaging in public disputes and breaking rules. There is a possibility that post-election unrest could occur, leading to several arrests and adding another layer of drama to an already explosive contest. In summary, the election in Pennsylvania promises to be a tightly contested and volatile spectacle, with President Trump projected to secure victory, capturing 19 electoral votes. Let's take a closer look at Michigan. This race isn't expected to be a nail-biter, at least astrologically, as Vice President Harris is poised for a commanding win in Michigan. Her support is likely to be bolstered by strong backing from the Muslim communities in key areas like Dearborn, Hamtramck, Detroit, Southgate, and Ann Arbor. Her widespread support can be attributed to her stance on civil rights issues, including racial inequality, police reform, voting rights, economic inequality, LGBTQ+ rights, and environmental justice, especially regarding industrial pollution and clean water access. Housing discrimination, immigration rights, disability rights, and education equity are also key factors rallying voters to her side. Despite some deep dissatisfaction with the Democratic leadership within the state, many voters still perceive the Democrats as the preferable option, especially with President Trump's polarizing presence. The likelihood of a Trump victory here appears slim, and it might be strategic for his campaign to focus resources on more competitive states. Legal challenges following the election results are anticipated to be ineffective, as compelling cases are unlikely to arise and judges are predicted to rule decisively against President Trump. In summary, Vice President Kamala Harris seems set to clinch victory in Michigan, capturing 15 electoral votes and marking a setback for President Trump in the state. Let's delve into the dynamics at play in Wisconsin. Securing victory in Wisconsin will be anything but straightforward for President Trump. He's expected to outshine Vice President Harris in a race that's sure to be fraught with hurdles and require considerable mental fortitude. The Harris campaign might lean into emphasizing allegations of sexual misconduct and scandals as part of their overall strategy. However, this tactic is not projected to make significant inroads with voters. In Wisconsin, Republican-leaning areas are likely to rally behind President Trump. Interestingly, even some traditionally Democratic regions may show unexpected support for him. Although Vice President Harris might enjoy an early lead, the forecast suggests that President Trump will ultimately pull ahead for the win. As additional vote batches are counted, Vice President Harris is expected to close the gap significantly, but these efforts may fall just short of overtaking President Trump. The prevailing trends in Wisconsin suggest a tilt in favor of a Trump victory. Despite potential challenges related to vote counting and ballot integrity, President Trump would do well to accept the victory gracefully. Avoiding public disputes, recounts, or costly legal challenges could help maintain his lead while avoiding unnecessary expenses and potential penalties. In summary, President Donald Trump appears likely to secure a win in Wisconsin, earning those valuable 10 electoral votes. Let's turn our attention to Nevada. Vice President Harris is expected to draw significant support from women, LGBTQ+ communities, and pro-choice advocates thanks to her strong stance on gender equality and reproductive rights. Conversely, former President Trump is likely to receive substantial backing from male voters. The Harris campaign should not overlook Nevada's Native American population, whose votes could be crucial. President Biden previously secured Nevada by around 40,000 votes, and although Nevada's Native American community is relatively small, estimated between 40,000 to 60,000 individuals, their support could be instrumental in widening the margin between the candidates. Addressing tax and regulatory concerns regarding tobacco use and sales could be a smart move for the Harris campaign. Likewise, the Trump campaign could appeal to the Native American tribes with a similar approach to potentially sway some of Vice President Harris's supporters. Despite these dynamics, projections indicate that Vice President Harris is likely to achieve a decisive victory in Nevada. Any legal challenges from the Trump campaign are expected to be resolved in court without significantly altering the outcome. It seems that the Trump campaign is not heavily betting on Nevada, suggesting that a loss here may not disrupt their larger strategy. In summary, Vice President Kamala Harris is poised to secure a win in Nevada, capturing 6 electoral votes. Let's explore the dynamics in North Carolina. This state is pivotal for President Trump's path to the presidency, and projections show it's likely to swing in his favor, delivering 16 crucial electoral votes. For Vice President Harris, North Carolina presents a scenario of so near yet so far. While the race will be competitive, President Trump is expected to secure a 3-point lead, with final tallies projected at roughly 51.5% for Trump and 48.5% for Harris. North Carolina's pronounced environmental challenges offer candidates a chance to invigorate their campaign messages. Instead of engaging in typical political mudslinging, they could focus on addressing pressing ground issues like cleaning up the Cape Fear River Basin and managing waste from hog farming. Offering practical solutions to these real-world environmental concerns could enhance voter enthusiasm and engagement. There's also a potential wildcard factor with severe weather in early November. Although it's the end of the hurricane season, history shows it's not out of the question. Recall Hurricane Eta in November 2020, which, while not making landfall in North Carolina, exemplifies potential disruptions. Such weather could lead to delays and interruptions in the vote counting process. In summary, President Donald Trump appears poised to secure a victory in North Carolina, claiming those crucial 16 electoral votes. Let's delve into what's anticipated for Nebraska. While Nebraska might not traditionally be seen as a swing state or a battleground state, it serves as a litmus test for astrological predictions to align with widely expected outcomes. Indeed, the stars suggest that expectations for Nebraska will likely hold true, while also offering insights into how each campaign might boost their efforts in this region. President Trump is projected to win the popular vote and secure victories in Nebraska's 1st and 3rd congressional districts. However, Vice President Harris is expected to maintain her strength and secure a win in the 2nd congressional district. Vice President Harris's success in the 2nd district is supported by individuals within Omaha's vibrant financial sector, particularly in Douglas County. Professionals from key institutions such as Wells Fargo, the First National Bank of Omaha, and investment firms like Berkshire Hathaway are expected to favor her. Additionally, she is likely to garner significant backing from Nebraska's Latin American community, which makes up about 11.4% of the state's population. This group includes individuals of Mexican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Central and South American descent. Recognizing the importance of every electoral vote in this tight presidential race, the Trump campaign has an opportunity to challenge the 2nd congressional district. By strategically engaging with the financial sector and the Latin American community and offering and promising financial and immigration policies, the campaign could sway these voters. Collaborating with influential figures like Warren Buffett could further enhance their public relations efforts. Despite Nebraska's smaller size in terms of electoral votes, its contributions should not be overlooked. In summary, President Donald Trump is projected to win the state, capturing 4 of its 5 electoral votes. Vice President Harris is anticipated to receive the remaining 1 electoral vote from the 2nd congressional district. Finally, let's turn our attention to Minnesota. With Governor Timothy James Walz as the Democratic vice presidential nominee, many might think it is redundant to even consider Minnesota as in play. Yet, as an astrologer, my focus is on examining all possibilities, including those that could potentially swing between parties. Minnesota, however, remains a bastion of Democratic strength, and there's no indication this trend will shift. It's advisable that the Trump campaign conserves their resources, as changing the outcome here seems improbable. Vice President Harris is projected to achieve a decisive victory in Minnesota, with little chance for President Trump to make inroads. This outcome is broadly expected, aligning with Minnesota's consistent Democratic leaning. In summary, Vice President Kamala Harris is likely poised to secure victory in Minnesota, earning its 10 electoral votes. This sets the stage for a fascinating finish where each state's decisions are pivotal in shaping the final electoral landscape. And finally, that moment is here. After examining the key swing states, including those that face litigation in 2020 and even some non-swing states, to validate and gain astrological confidence, here's my final assessment. President Donald Trump is likely to secure victory and become the next president of the United States with 275 electoral votes, while Vice President Kamala Harris is projected to garner 263. This analysis shows just how close and pivotal this election is expected to be. Now let's dive into what might unfold from early November to late January. If 2020 has taught us anything, it is to brace for a roller coaster ride. Here's what we might anticipate. As we head into this election cycle, it seems we are in for a repeat of 2020's complexities. Results might be delayed with counting and certification processes stretching out the timeline. Don't be surprised if we don't have a clear winner until states certify their electors by the December 11 deadline. This uncertainty could spark concerns about potential vote manipulation or the sudden discovery of misplaced ballots. Expect both parties to sling accusations and counterclaims as they try to undermine each other. For the Trump campaign, this is a significant test of strategy and response. It's crucial for them to tread carefully. There's always the chance that allegations of misconduct might surface, possibly involving someone from the Trump team or an acquaintance from the past. It would be wise for President Trump to limit his public commentary, leaving disputes to be handled by lawyers in the courtroom rather than through media soundbites. While this might not align with his usual direct approach, it's definitely a strategy worth serious consideration. Legal teams should be on high alert and fully prepared as this election's outcome might be settled in the courts. Here are some key dates and potential scenarios to keep an eye on. As we approach November 4 and 5, there's a potential risk of disruptive incidents. These could include gun violence or orchestrated false flag events aimed at distracting from the voting and counting process. Such incidents might also be strategically designed to influence voting behavior based on public reactions to these events. Particularly concerning are potential events at entertainment venues, especially in nightlife areas associated with the LGBTQ+ communities. To ensure safety, it's advisable to exercise caution by staying home in the evenings on these dates and limiting interactions to family settings. Taking these simple precautions can help protect personal safety during this highly sensitive period. There is also a possibility that natural disasters such as severe weather events could disrupt the voting or counting process. Given these uncertainties, it is strongly recommended to take advantage of mail-in voting while the opportunity remains available. Utilizing mail-in voting ballots ensures that your vote is counted, even if unforeseen circumstances prevent in-person voting on November 5. This proactive approach to voting safeguards your participation in the democratic process, regardless of potential disruptions caused by natural events on voting day. There are also hints of a high-frequency event on this day. Those attuned to the signals may understand my cryptic hint and its implications. As such, embracing mail-in voting can provide peace of mind in these highly unpredictable times. As we approach November 5 and the days following, there is also a significant risk of internet and network disruptions. The esteemed US Cyber Command needs to remain on high alert for potential UDP flood distributed denial of service attacks from malicious actors. These attacks might seem to originate from multiple global locations but could actually be traced back to specific foreign sources such as Country C and, interestingly enough, Country G for those picking up on the hints. The impact of such an attack could be monumental, akin to an earthquake in the digital realm, with disruptions potentially surpassing 100 million bits per second. And what could be the primary aim? To slow down the voting and counting process, chip away at the public morale, and create avenues to question the integrity of the election. This underscores the critical need for robust cybersecurity measures and vigilant monitoring during this pivotal time. We can expect significant drama as electors gather on December 17 in their states to cast their votes. There could be attempts to disrupt and delay this crucial process, potentially leading to heightened tensions and public unrest. Further disruptions and protocol deviations might arise as Congress convenes on January 6 to count the electoral votes. This day could see increased tension and public demonstrations, suggesting caution around public gatherings, particularly in the nation's capital. The esteemed US Congress may face delays in completing the count and certifying the election results, likely stretching into the end of day on January 9. This could exacerbate tensions and uncertainty. From a security standpoint, it is advisable for President Trump to consider limiting public appearances from January 18 until his inauguration ceremony on January 20. This period could pose heightened security risks. Given the complex circumstances and the timing of the transition, this presidency is likely to face numerous challenges. There might even be discussions of impeachment proceedings from the beginning, framing a tumultuous start to the term. These potential developments underscore the need for caution, preparedness, and strategic planning in the weeks surrounding the transition. Between November and January, those who consider themselves patriots face an important choice. Either channel emotions effectively or risk succumbing to anger without gaining results. It's crucial to remember that maintaining composure is key to achieving success. Acting out of anger can lead to losing the broader battle. Participation in public demonstrations is highly discouraged, as recent events have shown that such activities can lead to highly unfavorable outcomes. Women in particular should be cautious due to potential risks of violence. It is advised to avoid pro-choice public demonstrations for the time being, as these could become targets for staged or false flag attacks. However, this does not mean adopting a stance of indifference. Instead, aim for proactive engagement, remaining calm and strategic. Malicious forces often try to provoke emotional reactions to justify forceful responses. By staying level-headed and strategic, patriots can effectively work towards their goals without falling into reactionary traps. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope I've been of service to you. May your life brim with auspiciousness. If you're interested in checking out our credibility and past predictions, head over to the Highlights tab on our Twitter profile. The link is in the description below. If you'd like to support our work financially, you can make a donation. It's completely optional. The link for that is also in the description. And finally, remember, life is a very short journey. If you don't live intentionally, it'll be over before you know it. So take the opportunity to ask questions about your future, learn, plan, and unlock your life's best possibilities. You can book your appointment today at vijayjyotish.com. Wishing you all the very best. Thank you, and God bless the USA.